Welcome to the tutorial PowerXL DA1 frequency inverter commissioning a permanent magnet motor. This tutorial shows how to commission an example permanent magnet motor on a PowerXL DA1 frequency inverter. The following technical requirements must be met: a frequency inverter DA1, a serial communication cable DXCBL PC3M0 or a Bluetooth communication stick DXCOM stick 3 for easy programming of the device parameters. A note: on the DA1 the integrated keypad can also be used to make the necessary parameter settings. Likewise, an external keypad DXKey OLED with plain text display can be used to set parameters. The programming software Drives Connect or Drives Connect mobile app. No license is required for the Drives Connect programming software or Drives Connect mobile app. The software for the PC can be downloaded from www.eaton.com/software or for a smartphone from the App Store or Play Store. The motor datasheet of the PM motor to be used. The motor data are provided by the manufacturers in different forms. In the displayed application note AP0451, operating permanent magnet and brushless DC motors, the necessary parameter settings for the DA1 are given for an example motor. In the PM motor used there, the following displayed data is available from the motor manufacturer. When setting motor parameter P107, motor norm voltage, in DA1, it is important to set the value of the back EMF calculated for the rated speed, not the rated voltage. In this application, this results in a calculated value of UP1000, 215 volt, multiplied by 1500 divided by 1000 equal 323 volt, rounded up from 322.5 volt at 1500 RPM. For the configuration of the frequency inverter, this tutorial shows the use of both the Drives Connect software and in parallel the Drives Connect mobile app. These are two separate recordings, as parallel use of the Bluetooth communication stick DXCOM stick 3 is not possible. The parameter settings are therefore also not necessarily synchronous. There are two ways to run the parameterization. In real-time edit mode, where each parameter is changed directly in DA1, this mode is used in the Drives Connect mobile app shown on the right. In offline mode, where all parameters are changed first and then transferred as a whole, this mode is used in the Drives Connect shown on the left. In the Drives Connect left, the 7.5 kW DA1 34018FB-A20C was stored here as the default drive, which is documented in the drive description. On the right, the coupling with the Bluetooth communication stick is shown. In the parameter editor, the password P114 is set to 201 for the necessary access to all parameters. Automatically, the groups 229 and 0 monitor appear on the left. The setting of the motor parameters P107 to P110 is carried out. As mentioned before, at P107 not the rated voltage but the calculated value for the back EMF, here 323 volt, is entered. In P108 the maximum rated device current of 18 amps can be entered. Here the rated current of the PM motor of 14.2 amps is entered. The factory setting of P109, motor norm frequency, is kept. As soon as the necessary setting of P110, motor norm speed, is made, all parameters with unit Hertz change to unit RPM. A tip: if there are desired values in Hertz, for example for the fixed frequencies, These values should be made before changing P110. After this action, entering the value of P110 will automatically specify the correct value for the fixed frequencies in RPM in the background, taking into account the entered value for the nominal motor frequency P109. The last motor parameter to be set is P405 motor PF power factor with 0.98. In the two-function group, the switching frequency P224 must be set to at least 16 kHz for optimum operation of a connected PM motor, so that the optimum switching frequency of 16 kHz is not automatically reduced again by the DA1 in the event of increased heating of the heatsink. Parameter P602 Autothermal management should also be set to at least 16 kHz. Before the motor identification can be started, the motor control mode P401 must be pre-selected to PM motor speed control in the next step. A note: if there is a motor choke, DV to DD filter, sine filter or all-pole sine filter between DA1 and PM motor, it must be bridged for correct motor model identification in DA1. For the further steps, the representation of the Drives Connect mobile app shown on the right is not longer shown. For Bluetooth communication via DX-COM Stick 3 with the DA1, select DX-COM Stick 3 BLE as the connection type via Tools, select Communication Device. In this case, the PC's built-in Bluetooth communication is not used, but the dongle included in the kit via the COM5 port. The only device available here is selected from the device list found. In case of a brand new communication stick, the default password 6 times the 0 has to be entered in the following window. For reasons of cybersecurity, a new password must now be assigned, which is done here using 123456 as an example. The new password is confirmed. Then press the Connect button. The selected communication device is displayed at the bottom left. The parameters changed up to now are then transferred via the Transfer Parameter set to the selected Drive button. If the communication stick was not unlocked in advance by pressing the red lock symbol, this can now be done in the following window by confirming with Yes via software. The progress of the transfer is displayed in the bottom right corner of the Drives Connect. As well, the successful parameter transfer is confirmed in the display of the DA1 with the indication Pass T. The drive network is now scanned for control purposes. For the next step, it is mandatory to deactivate the real-time edit mode. The motor identification can only be activated on the DA1 via the keypad. The preset data logger with trigger on event for a higher resolution shows the action of the motor identification run. Via the keypad, the value 1 is now entered in P402 using the up arrow key and acknowledged with OK. If a motor is connected to the output of the DA1, the motor identification run at standstill takes place directly when the OK button is pressed. No further enable is required here. The motor identification process takes approximately 10 seconds in this case. If no motor is connected, the error message ATF01 is displayed. Further possible error messages during the motor identification run are displayed. After successful motor identification, the new values of P701 to P706 for the internal motor model can be transferred from the DA1 frequency inverter to the Drives Connect software. A note: the values for P702, 04 and 05 are set to 0 because they are not used in the internal motor model of the DA1, different from the standard asynchronous motor in the PM motor. A note: The measured values for the internal motor model of the DA1 do not have to match the specified values from the motor manufacturer's datasheet. The optimization of a DA1 to a PM motor is shown in the following video. PowerXL DA1 frequency inverter optimizing a permanent magnet motor is covered. Thank you for your attention.